Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the AKA Enterprise Solution webinar about Microsoft Mobile Solution for Time and Expenses. My name is Herbert Backhausen. I'm a Senior Solution Architect here at AKA with over 23 years experience in ERP, supply chain, and CRM. For today's webinar, I propose the following agenda. We look at the concept and the business reasons behind time and expense entries, how Microsoft moves this into mobile solutions to give more flexible. We have a look at our portal offering. We look at our time and expense entry solution and how this then goes through workflow and gets approval, and then we're diving into a short demo of the functionality. Why does Microsoft go mobile? Well, there are a number of reasons. One is, of course, to improve employee productivity, so you can take a snapshot of your receipt in your expenses anywhere you go, the need to control the cost and improve efficiency, of course. So how does Microsoft do this? One is it will allow the user to self-service, meaning empower them to take action when and where they want to enter their timesheets, when and when they want to enter their expenses, enforce policies on what to spend, where to spend, how to route this, make this process as efficient as possible, and using mobile solutions to do that. Let's look at a business scenario. Meet Zach. Zach is a consultant who works on multiple projects, traveling a lot, being on the road, and does not have an online access all the time to Dynamics AX. So he needs to capture his expenses during the trip, meals, fuel, lodging, whatever. He needs to combine this into an expense report and submit them. He needs to enter his time spent on project activities, what has he done, for how long, and of course submit these for approval to get his expenses paid. Or if he's an outside contractor, that he gets paid for his time spent. So there are multiple solutions. Here, for example, you see a solution on Windows Phone. I'm later on in the demo using my iPhone for this. Sorry for all the Microsoft aficionados. I happen to have an iPhone, but I want to show that it works there as well. And from there, it would go to the project manager, for example, in my scenario, Yoshito, who needs to approve the expense report and the timesheets and wants to also analyze the performance. Where is the project? How much is spent on time for the consultant on each project, etc. To do that, traditionally, Microsoft had, besides Dynamics AX, employee services, which was a web portal where the user could log in and enter their timesheets, enter their expenses, and work from there. This is still the case. You can still use this. However, now Microsoft has expanded this and introduced a number of mobile apps. Starting from the right, we have the T&E phone app, which works on Apple, Android, and Windows Phone, where you can just quickly capture your individual expenses and take a snapshot of your receipt. Then this will be routed, or could be routed, I have to say that, to a Windows 8 app that runs either on a Windows 8 laptop or on a Surface or any other tablet that runs Windows 8. Here you can combine your expenses into an expense report, and you can work further on timesheets, and then route these to approvals. And there's a special app for approvals where a project manager can approve expenses and timesheets and budgets and so on, and that could then be routed directly into Dynamics AX 2012. The other option is, of course, if you capture the expenses, they can go directly into employee service, and then from employee service you can further work on combining these into an expense report, for example. Let's have a look at a demo. To do that, I first want to switch on my iPhone, and here you see my iPhone display. I'm using some mirroring with AirPlay, and there is an app for Dynamics AX which can be downloaded free of charge from the App Store. In here I have time entry, view my time. So if I look at my times, you can see there was on Tuesday a timesheet, times recorded but not yet submitted. But let's start with adding expenses. So I'm adding expense. I want to capture this for today, which is the 28th, and my amount in this case is $24.68, and category is meal. I could put in a comment that is say dinner, and then we have the possibility to enter add receipts, and let me see if with my big fingers I can do this. Here we go. Okay, now I have my receipt here of $24.68. Capture this, use photo, and save this. Now I have my expenses saved and submitted. And now let's turn AirPlay back on, off, and go to my portal. So my portal, I have my expense report, and if I want to edit an expense report and add additional information, additional expenses to this, I can do this from here. Just a second, loading here, and I have here a button, Add Unreconciled Expenses. So if I click on this, you will see that it will come up with my meal for $24.68 that I can add onto here. But right now I want to cancel this here. I just wanted to and close this here. I wanted to show you, of course, the mobile solutions. To do that, I'll go on my Windows 8, and you see here are these three mobile app solutions I want to talk to you about: expenses, timesheet, and approval. Let's go into expenses. And I'm now logged in as Zach, and I have a button here for unreconciled, and you see here this is the button. I can view the receipt here, and you see here it's my 2468 receipt. So if I now get on my expenses, I can right click and pull in the unreconciled expenses, mark these, and add this to my expense report. Okay, now the expense is added, and I can then submit this for further approval. Let's do this, and you can see here I have conference and meal. Don't we? I can put a note in here, say technology conference, and submit my expenses. Now you can see they're now moved into in review status, and I now can go in and first of all want to show you how this pops up in AX. So if I go in as a project manager, and let's refresh this, you see here in my work list I have my expense approval report. So if I have access to AX, I could directly go in and take a look at my expense report, approve it, reject it, etc. Let's take a quick look at the expense report, and we can see it's for the conference visit, and here are the meals and expenses, 2468. So it's all here. But we want to, of course, approve it with our mobile apps. Let's look at the approval app, and you see here is the expense report from the conference visit from Zach Woodall. So I can go in here and see here I have a meal, I have conference, and I have my receipt here, so I can directly see the receipt that was being captured, and I can right click here. I can go back and right click and approve. So now this leaves here because I have nothing else to approve. I have an outstanding timesheet here, but we'll get there in a minute. So that's basically the expense flow. If we go back into here and refresh, we will see now that this expense report is gone here from the approval list. It's been done. It's been expensed. So now let's take a look at timesheets. To look at timesheets, we go back to my iPhone and go back to our app and add some time. And I have spent today 2 hours 45 minutes on a project. And you see here all these projects are coming directly out of AX and the legal entity you're currently as a user being assigned to. So I take this TM1, time and material for city manufacturing. I can add more details. So you see here now there are categories. Again, this comes from directly from AX. So I pick IT consulting. In this example, I can have some activities here. Pick project management. I can say whether it's billable or non-billable. And I can put in a comment. Architecture meeting, okay. And save this. Okay, my time was saved. Now I can look at my timesheet, and I see now here I have for my Friday today. I have several times here reported. I've done some earlier here. Right now I have my 2 at the bottom, my 2 hours 75 minutes for city manufacturing, and I now can submit my timesheet. Okay, my timesheet got submitted, and let me turn the AirPlay back off, and now if I do refresh here, I should see yes, and there's another timesheet that just came in that would need to be approved. Okay, so let's go back to our mobile apps. Let's go look at timesheets. So here are the timesheets. This is one that's currently was filed, that is in review, and you can see here how my city manufacturing, the 2 hours and 75 minutes, and I can look at details. I can look at charts to analyze this, how much is spent per project and per category for this period. But I could also, if I want to enter time through this mobile app, I could do that by simply going into a new timesheet and then adding time here, pressing plus, saying 3 hours, for example, picking in a project and a category and activity, and create this. And you see here, it's very easy for anybody to create timesheets and submit them. Okay, so we have this one here that is being submitted and currently under review. Let's go to our approvals, and here you go. And here it just showed up the new timesheet that we have here, where we spent these 2 hours and 75 minutes on IT consulting for city manufacturing. And there is a note in here that says architecture meeting. So I get some detail here. I can look at time summary, how Zach spends his time by different projects, by categories, and how much of his time is billable versus no billable. And I can also see by project impact, where am I with it, hours, and if I put in budget control, I can directly see where am I standing compared to my project budget. If as a project manager I would have questions regarding the details of any of these timesheets, I can directly tap into this box here and use link to add a chat with my colleague. I can use the phone button to use link to call out or use this button here to send an email via Outlook and ask further information or an additional report, etc. And once I've done this, I can hit my approve button here and maybe put in a comment. I won't do this. And you see now this disappears from the mobile app here because it's no longer needs to be approved. And I can go back into here and see that once I hit refresh, this timesheet is gone. It is approved. And I could now go and look at projects and look at the timesheets. See, these are timesheets that are posted for me or for my projects. And you see, these are the projects that I'm managing as a project manager. And I have here 875. That was the one that I just filed that got approved. Oops. So coming back to the PowerPoint, a little recap of what we just saw. We looked at the expenses. We entered the expenses, combined them into an expense report, filed them for approval. We entered our time. We submitted them for approval and showed how the project manager was able then to analyze the performance and the budget performance of a project through the mobile solution. I hope this presentation was informative for you and you liked what you saw. If you have any further questions, please contact us at www.akaes.com. That's AKA Enterprise Solutions. Thanks a lot.